James Summers this morning, Blend. Once again, here we go with movie reviews. Today, we're going to talk about 13 Lives, the new Ron Howard, how can I say that, docu-movie in a way, pretty much real life. Tony got to see a little bit of the documentary on Disney Plus, and he says it's pretty much real to what we're going to see with Ron Howard, which streams next Friday, actually. So let's get into it, Tony. I'll let you get started with you. You kind of have a mix of both. What did you think?
Honestly, going in that film last night, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really remember the story. It's only happened about 4 years ago now. But I was really not sure, how it was going to go, not to mention, how the film is going to be as a whole. But I was blown away. And I love when a movie can do that to you. The fact that you can still go to a theater, not know what to expect, and just get taken away to an entire new place. Very tense and gripping. Can be described as a docudrama, of course, but I mean, it follows this incredible true story of these 13 individuals who got trapped in a cave in Thailand. But a very powerful story about the human spirit. And what I loved about it so much was it's intense, of course. You feel like you're right there, and I don't want to call it action, but you're right there in the trenches and in the depths, and you're in the deep dives and the tight corners. And I promise you, if you're claustrophobic, you're gonna be panicking. And even if you aren't claustrophobic, you're gonna feel it. I remember it numerous times, honestly, like looking around like, okay, we're not, we're not in trouble. We're okay. But I mean, Ron Howard puts you right there with the dive team. But the natural characters of the film are something that I really appreciated. We didn't get these, needless side stories to make us feel for, for the outside support crew, even though the film focuses on the rescue. The rescuers kind of get the brunt of the screen time. But I love that they were just playing human beings. Colin Farrell, Viggo Mortensen, Joel Edgerton, Tom Bateman, Paul Gleason, they're just playing human beings. And it really added to the authenticity of the film.
Janelle?
I would have to agree. I think it was very much on par with his Apollo 13. It was a very quiet drama. It was intense. It's a shame that a lot of people aren't going to be able to see this in a theater and will only see this on Amazon, because I think the immersive experience of the theater with it completely dark and the sound of the water behind you, around you is needed for this movie. I think it's probably going to be rated a little low because people will see it on Amazon and not get that full theater experience from it. So I'm hoping it overcomes the streaming, aspect of it, but I thought it was great. I agree with Tony. The characters are understated for a reason. It's a focus on the story. It's a focus on the kids, on the family, on the rescue operations, and the combination between all of those things.
I would have to agree with both of you on that. I'll say ditto on that. I was sitting next to Tony. I'm sure he saw my leg kicking every time they dove. I was kicking along with the divers. It really immersed you literally into the rescue itself. I mean, we heard about it 4 years ago, 2018. The kids were rescued, everybody applauded, but we didn't know how they were rescued, how they actually got out of that cave. We're not going to spoil it for our audience because I think that's the main theme of what's going on in this particular film, is how they actually rescued those kids and how dangerous it was for those divers to go in there and to get them. Also, I don't know, I wouldn't mind going about a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks without any food so I could lose some weight, but you're right, the human spirit. The coach, apparently he was with those kids. He helped keep those kids alive, helped keep that morale up. It shows a little bit in the movie. They really talk about that and bring that out. But again, the divers, that was just amazing just to see that happen. All right, Tony, how would you rate 13 Lives?
Like I said, this was a pleasant surprise and an absolute blast with it. As Janelle said, it demands theatrical experience. I feel terrible for my sales folks that can't watch the theater. Good as it is, you're watching this right now. You can stream on Amazon Prime as we speak. So I can't recommend it enough. 4.5 out of 5 for me. It's hard to call a movie fun when it's dealing with tragedy, but it's very well done. One of Ron Howard's finest films in a long time.
Janelle?
Yeah, I would give it a 5 at a theater. I probably unfortunately like a 4 on streaming because I really just think it needs a almost dark, completely dark room with sound behind you, around you, in front of you. You need to feel that claustrophobia that those divers and everybody was experiencing to get those kids out.
I would have to agree with both of you. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 because, yeah, you have to be immersed in it. Being at home, watching it on the big screen still doesn't help you out. You got to be in a theater, IMAX. You got to have that surround sound. You got to have the darkness because it makes you feel like you're in the cave with the kids and the divers. So we're going to go with 4 or 4.5.
4.5.
4.5. We're going to go with 4.5 for 13 Lives from Ron Howard. Again, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend.